Pirate King, treasure hunt, swordsman, not following the ship, semi-invincible, pirate camp, explore the sea, form a pirate group, embark on fantastic adventures, and search for treasures. The protagonist of this book will not eat the fruit of demons, and the main combat methods are tricolor dominance and swordsmanship. This is the story of the protagonist Xia Bo singing all the way, collecting sailors, searching for treasures, and finally becoming the One Piece King. Get on my boat will deform. Do you understand Transformers? It is said that the sword hero has a single attack attribute, and can integrate the temperature fruit into the sword. The cold knife, hot knife, and changes are flexible. Joker Bucky. I'm not afraid of slashing, it's terrifying hotNami. I don't discriminate against fishmen because they are all cooked by the captain.Uta. Sing war songs every day. When will the concert be held? Golden Lion Shiji. It's been 20 years. What are you little ghosts doing here? Are you bullying the elderly? Do you understand respecting the elderly and caring for the young? Ime. Don't cause trouble, the ocean needs stability, and being a person can't be too selfish. Chapter 1. Early death, caught in the bathroom. You are listening at novel full.audio. At the beginning of 1518 in the Haiyuan calendar, Dada, in the corridor, the footsteps were dense and hurried. The headquarters reported that Xia Bo, a pirate with a bounty of 33 million belly in the North Sea, had fled to the East China Sea. The commanders of each branch base must report to the headquarters as soon as they discover it. The sentry called, suspected of pirate Xia Bo entering the Walder Hotel. The base commander orders to investigate the Walder Hotel and confirm that no unauthorized action is allowed, no unauthorized action is allowed, no unauthorized action is allowed. Are you sure it's this room? That's right, sir. That's right here. Upon hearing the affirmative response, the young captain was filled with thoughts of flipping through the sky, then being promoted and elevated, and reaching the pinnacle of his life. Bang! This kick kicked open not the door, but the shackles of the base commander's uncle, which was also his first step toward success. The captain crossed the threshold first, and the sailors rushed into the room behind him. As for the hotel manager who was leading the way, his eyebrows furrowed slightly and he quietly retreated. Are you joking? In the East China Sea, a great pirate with a bounty of 33 million can be called a legend, let alone more than one person. There is also a great black dog with a bounty of 36 million. The base commander disregards the life and death of his nephew for the sake of his achievements, and his appearance is too unsightly. Where are people? The young captain loaded the bullets and saw no one in the living room. He ordered his subordinates to search each room one by one. Intelligence shows that pirate Xia Bo, who is only 16 years old this year, is a furry little boy who has not grown all his hair. He fled all the way from the North Sea to the East China Sea like a bereaved dog, and there is nothing to be afraid of. Overall evaluation, with low strength and first-class escape skills, it is worth 500,000 walking and cannot be missed. Bang! The doors were kicked open one by one, and soon it was the bathroom's turn to see a handsome young man with a slightly immature eyebrow. He was wearing headphones and his arms were spread out on both sides of the bathtub, taking a bath with his eyes closed. You really enjoy it. The young captain paced forward, raised his gun and pressed it against Xia Bo's forehead. Pirate Xia Bo, you have been arrested. As he spoke, he could clearly see the excitement on the captain's face. This time, he had made a contribution and caught a big fish. However, he was close enough to see his capital through the clear water. With a dark curse, Goeri was really angry and said, "Now tell me where your accomplice is, otherwise I will make it difficult for you to walk around." As if confirming the captain's words, the navy behind them raised their guns and aimed, and if there was a disagreement, they would directly smash them into a sieve. Xia Bo opened his eyes and saw dozens of guns brushing against him, his face turning black. "Nima, let's not let anyone calm down for a while, and is the base leader of this branch so brave. Even blackguard Tina couldn't arrest herself, so she rushed up like this. If it weren't for the small town being relatively close to Kekiaxi village, I really wouldn't want to come, let alone face these navy like frogs at the bottom of a well. Do you dare to break through such a dish? Is there any way? Now, stand up, otherwise don't blame me for being impolite, said the young captain with a dignified gaze. Xia Bo lifted his head and his gaze fixed, invisible waves spread outwards, and the domineering color launched the ruling of the overlord. All sailors, including the naval captain, rolled their eyelids and fainted. From beginning to end, Xia Bo didn't even bother to say a word. There is no one in the East China Sea that can fight except for Kapu. Really, taking a shower doesn't stop. Excited by being disturbed, Xia Bo didn't have the heart to continue enjoying it. He stood up, water droplets streaking through the muscle groups resembling ancient Greek sculptures, paired with the height of a 3.2-meter general, like an iron tower. Wearing good clothes, Xia Bashi hung a large sword to cut the moon at his waist. He walked out in a confident manner and passed by the lobby when he saw the hotel manager crouching under the table, giving him a fierce glance. Selling customer information casually, you deserve to go bankrupt and still want room money, bah. After leaving the hotel, the sky was bright and sunny. It is now March of the first year of the year, and everything is beginning to revive, with a rustling smell everywhere. 1518 is also an extraordinary year. There will be 3 major events that will change the pattern of the ocean. The genius Dr. Bega Punk left Punkhazad and headed to Eggtip Island. The tyrant bear began a tragic life in collaboration with the world government to treat his daughter Bonnie's blue scale disease. The posthumous son of the pirate king, Ace, consumed natural roasted fruits and destroyed a famous 7 sea creature. Now we need to add a future pirate named Wang Shebua to the East China Sea to search for life and death companions, establish a pirate group, and stand at the top of the world. Xia Bo's mouth curved slightly. Traveling through this world of pirates for 10 years, the past has gone with the wind, and in this life, I am only searching for all the treasures, including One Piece, and then becoming the pirate king. As for being mediocre or joining the navy, it's hard to say in one word. The town is not big and full of medieval characteristics. The Marquis' mansion is responsible for people's livelihoods, the naval base is responsible for security, and there is also a bounty hunter guild hunting pirates. Xia Bo came to a bar under the hunter guild, mainly responsible for selling intelligence. A glass of rum, thank you. The young bartender's pupils narrowed as she looked around at the bounty hunters who could only deal with some miscellaneous fish, full of malice, like the hungry gaze of a peerless beauty. I almost made her laugh. As an intelligence agent, she was well aware of how extraordinary this seemingly harmless young man, who looked like a big boy next door, was. Far away, let's just say that the colonel of the Navy headquarters, led by blackguard Tina, has been arrested for 2 years and can still sit here drinking, which already shows everything. How dare you, you bounty hunters who can only deal with below 3 million pele, not afraid of buttoning your eyes. Here you are. The bartender finished the rum and asked with a smile, what other services do the guests need? You can tell me, everything can be discussed. After speaking, my gaze shifted downwards and my tongue licked my red lips. What's wrong with pirates? They are both powerful and handsome, enjoying each other. If they don't care about the secular world, wouldn't they be inferior? In the future, it is entirely possible to exchange contact information and occasionally reveal some traces. It can also be considered as supporting her intelligence work. Xia Bo raised his eyebrows and said, so. What's going on inside? The female bartender smiled brightly and gave him a seductive glance. She called a colleague to whisper a few words, and then, under the cannibalistic gaze around her, she pulled Shebua towards the inner room. Inside the room, the small pink light shone and the charming atmosphere came up with just a scratch. Don't misunderstand, Xia Bo is someone who enjoys exploring and doesn't like cooking. The first time we meet, we go into the house to collect it. This situation is definitely not about love, but about living. System, redeem a gold treasure map. Consumed 100 million belly and successfully redeemed. Traversing has happened, isn't it reasonable to have a system? Xia Bo's system is called the Pirate Treasure Hunting System. As the name suggests, if you want to use the system, you must be a pirate. Search for treasure by purchasing treasure maps sold through the system. The treasure chest is divided into 5 levels. Bronze 1 million, silver 10 million, gold 100 million, platinum 500 million, and diamond, unknown. Under the puzzled gaze of the female bartender, Xia Bo took out the golden treasure map and placed it on the table. 1 million, make 100 copies of it and spread it out. What does this mean? Seeing that the bartender didn't refuse immediately, Xia Bo knew it had been done. He hesitated and just wanted to raise the price, so he extended another finger. 2 million, can you think of a gimmick and hand it over to those pirates? The female bartender's eyes lit up and she was wondering if she wanted to increase the price again. It was evident that Xia Bo stood up and was about to leave, grabbing the treasure map to guarantee it. I guarantee to satisfy you, dear customer. Look at this money. Xia Bo took out 2 stacks of Bailey, 2 million yuan, and instructed not to expose himself before leaving with a copy. I have taken out all the gold treasure maps worth 100 million Baileys, just 2 million Baileys, drizzling rain. There was no threat or intimidation, but the more it was like this, the more the female bartender dared not handle the situation. The person left the store, but the monk couldn't leave the temple. After receiving the money, if you don't want to die, then do your job well. Chapter 2. Heavenly Treasure Map. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Have you heard? I heard. Do you still say that? Then let's not talk about it. Half a month ago, a legend emerged about Orange Island, where a Kenyan captain who had once sailed the sea and offered a reward of 30 million Baileys, his treasure left behind, came to life. Amidst various opinions, the spread has become increasingly sinister. Some say that heaven envies talents, otherwise Kenya will definitely become the pirate king, while others say that Roger is too lucky, otherwise nothing will happen to him. The news is getting worse and worse. A beautiful girl with orange hair and a hint of baby fat, she is Nami, who goes out of the village to make money. After hearing the news, I couldn't help but start secretly paying attention. As for our protagonist Xia Bo, he set sail as soon as he left the bar. Just kidding, spreading news is for fishing and law enforcement, to recover funds, to lure petty thieves and cats into being hooked, not to be a money-scattering boy. That's 100 million Bailey. Moro Island is quiet and mysterious, with an endless dense forest and high mountain standing in the center of the island. A large sailboat without a pirate flag sailed around the island and saw no ship stopping. Xia Bo smiled with satisfaction. Long leather boots, black pants, and a white vest are Xia Bo's daily attire, with a large knife cutting the moon at his waist and a black bow on his back as his identity symbol. Xia Bo jumped off the ship, along with a black mastiff dog. The mastiff, with a body length of over 5 meters and a height of 3 meters, has been with Xia Bo for nearly 10 years. It is currently the only family member and also the son of the dog in his mouth. Also a person with the ability to form animal series, mythical animal species, dog fruit, and gamma earth form. Wolf warrior, you are on guard here. No one is allowed to land on the island except for her. Xia Bo took out a profile photo and waited for Wolf Warrior to nod before walking towards the dense forest. Fishing is a side job, and opening treasure chests is the main job. We cannot sacrifice our resources for the bottom line, and not seeing a gold treasure chest worth 100 million makes us feel uneasy. Speaking of treasure hunting, Xia Bo, the treasure hunter of 10 years, is really enough looking at the charts, measuring scales, checking coordinates, and having a big brain. Just this time, because I just arrived in the East China Sea and am not very familiar with it, and the nautical chart is still strategic materials that cannot be purchased, I can only calculate the coordinates bit by bit. The total time taken is half a month. Other people's systems just give a ding to the world, you're such a waste. Tongzi. The island is mysterious, with frequent large beasts and extinct human habitation. This also saves Xia Bo a lot of effort, at least no one bothers. As for those fierce beasts, oh, that's cute, usually it's barbecue or steamed. Sprinkle some chili noodles and eat directly. Roar, a fierce tiger roared through the mountain forest. A white-haired tiger with hanging eyes leaped out of the dense forest with the majesty of the king of beasts and rushed towards the two-legged beast. Xia Bo paused in his footsteps, and as the fierce tiger approached, he raised his hand and found a large bag. He would go back as he was told. As for whether he will die or not, Xia Bo's focus is on these ingredients, which cannot be killed when not hungry. After walking for over an hour and hitting a few inconspicuous beasts, we arrived at a crocodile pond. Xia Bo called up the attribute panel and glanced at it. Name: Xia Bo. Age: 16 Kendo. Sword Hero / Steel, Dominance. Armed Color, Junior, Seeing and Hearing Color, Junior, Overlord Color, Junior, Body Technique. 6 Forms, Intermediate, Life Return, Junior, Wealth Value. 473 million. The beginner can only hear and perceive within a 500-meter range, and can encompass the entire deep tan. After determining the number of crocodiles, their eyes are fixed, and the dominant color launches the dominator's ruling. The crocodile, leisurely swimming and basking in the sun, only felt its eyes turn black and its belly turn white, and changed its posture. Xia Bo plunged in with a fierce thrust. The deep pool is about 20 meters deep, and there is a huge stone in the center. A golden treasure chest, 1 meter long and 1 meter wide, is located on the stone, emitting golden light. Seeing the target, Xia Bo curled his lips slightly and took out the dog's head flag to insert into the treasure chest. No matter what quality of treasure chest, there are 3 types of props hidden, ability category. Including but not limited to physical skills, dominance, and demon fruit. Fantasy items. Magical items with imaginative ideas such as weapons and technology. Treasure category. How can there be no treasure in the treasure chest? Ding, detected the golden treasure chest, do you want to open it? Open, obtain the domineering color and aura, beginner, intermediate, get 10 pounds of sailor beef jerky, obtain an equal amount of 50 million Baileys, yeah, the 100 million Baileys golden treasure chest not only directly restores half of its health, but also unleashes precious domineering aura. You should know that one of the 4 emperors of the New World, the red-headed Shanks, gallops through the sea with top-notch domineering colors. Beginner, intermediate, advanced, top. As long as he unleashes his domineering aura twice more, he will have a domineering aura no weaker than his red hair, and by then, he will not be allowed to gallop freely in the small world. Thinking of a better future, Xia Bo directly chose to use the domineering color aura. Soon, a domineering color aura that was more than 10 times stronger than a beginner emanated from his body. It's like solidifying the pool water. Dominance. Armed color, junior, seeing and hearing color, junior, overlord color, intermediate, yeah, Xia Bo filled the Bailey in the treasure chest with 27 million yuan, totaling 500 million yuan, and without hesitation, bought a platinum treasure map worth 500 million yuan, East China Sea, and stuffed it into the gold treasure chest. After finishing all of this, Xia Bo left directly. The treasure chest has other uses, don't rush for a moment. When they arrived at the beach to meet the war wolf, a small sailboat burned fiercely on the sea, and about 20 pirates were tied up in a row. Needless to say, this is naturally the work of Wolf Warrior. Xia Bo came to a pirate wearing a captain's hat and looked at it, then compared it with the East China Sea bounty. Harmful eater Norman, offering a reward of 8 million Baileys, enjoys eating similar babies. Xia Bo frowned, originally wanting to inquire about how to find Moro Island so quickly, but this time he didn't have the interest to continue asking. Nima, He often doesn't fit in with this pirate world because he's not crazy enough. Likes to eat babies of the same kind. Grandma, this Norman is a serious human. The Lord, please spare me. I have treasure, there are many treasures, just ask you to spare my life. Oh. Really? Norman was overjoyed and nodded repeatedly, Your Majesty, those nobles have fair and tender skin, delicious meat, and are also very wealthy. The more he spoke, the darker Xia Bo's face became. Stop. Xia Bo waved his hand and said, Burn. When the wolf warrior heard the command, his black fur began to turn red, and strands of white flames rose up. He opened his mouth and spewed out a huge fireball. Listening to Norman's screams and howls, the world seems to have been purified. Stop. Seeing the person die, Xia Bo stopped again and spent 10 million Bailey to purchase a blank treasure map from the system, putting a sticker on the charred Norman. Detected that the target's death time is less than 10 minutes and meets the usage conditions. Do you want to use it? Use. Successfully used. Xia Bo took the treasure map and started a new round of work. Blank treasure maps don't need to be so troublesome, usually not exceeding the 10-mile range of the death target. He was watching the treasure map, and the war wolves started burning again until they turned into ashes and drifted away in the wind before stopping. Killing and robbing treasures, destroying corpses and exterminating traces, and finally raising ashes, is the beginning and end. Chapter 3. The Clever Nami. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dig in fertile soil. Carrying a treasure hunting shovel, Xia Bo hummed a tune and found an open space, digging for treasures one by one. Unlike normal treasure chests, they may appear in deserted open spaces or in bustling markets. Blank treasure maps are very uniform, all buried underground. Due to the treasure hunting system, treasure hunters have been digging for treasures for 10 years. Speaking of which, it's all about poverty and chaos, and we don't miss any opportunities to open up resources and reduce costs. Moreover, with the scumbag like Norman's money, there is no burden at all, but rather a sense of pride in doing things for the sake of heaven. Card pool ding. After the soil flipped over, Xia Bo heard a crisp sound and laughed. He crouched down like an old farmer and even pulled the soil, revealing the face of the treasure chest. Gone, just one based on past experience. Each treasure chest is a fixed 50 million belly, and even if you have money, this is just a treasure chest, a safe and reliable poor person. Pushing open the treasure chest, it shimmered with gold, but it only contained half of it, not exceeding 30 million belly. The ground beetle in Dog Days dares to shout. Xia Bo cursed in secret, put the money into the system space, gave a sigh, and angrily left. Returning to the beach, the war wolf drooped its tongue and pounced on Xia Bo, showing immense affection. All right, are you hungry? So, you go find the ingredients and I'll be responsible for cooking, okay? Ow! As soon as the wolf warrior's eyes lit up, he bent over and ran towards the forest. Soon, he dragged a large bull with a body size of over 10 meters and placed it next to Xia Bo. He squatted down and drooled. The stronger their physique, the more they can eat. Both of them are big stomachs, and this thing is only enough for one meal. After a round stomach after a meal, the sky also darkened. The two of them left the beach and walked towards the foot of the mountain. I found a relatively dry cave, and the war wolf lay down first, while Xia Bo slept with the war wolf on his pillow. Over the years, the two have been like this, inseparable, and neither can be separated from the other. The next day, hunting and eating, then Wolf Warrior went to the beach to guard the gate, while Xia Bo began training. Last time, there was a good item opened in a gold chest, magnetic gravity rings left behind by ancient empires, 1.100 times. This thing can even be said to be a divine artifact, a product of a huge kingdom 800 years ago, with only 2 black metal wristbands on the outside. Unlike weight-bearing dumbbells, gravity rings create a gravitational magnetic field on the surface of the body, squeezing muscles and organs, and refining the entire body. Inhale, exhale. Since Xia Bo received the gravity bracelet 2 months ago, he has regarded it as a treasure and never left it. Control muscles, adjust breathing, and let the body gradually adapt. At present, it can activate a load capacity of 15 times. General Kapu of the Fist Hammer Mountain, the strongest creature in the 10,000-meter bungee jumping, Kaido, claims to never be injured, and Big Mom possesses steel balloons. They are all monsters that can only be destroyed internally and cannot be harmed externally. I don't have that kind of abnormal physique, but with the gravity ring, under the same strength, I will have 100 times more powerful internal organs than my opponents. If someone doesn't have me, I will have it. After training, it will be a natural talent. I heard that people will show off their horse lanterns when they are about to die. If you don't want to encounter unexpected situations or regret being defeated by strong enemies, you must do your best. Slash 10,000 times, then remove the sun shooting bow and pull the bow 10,000 times. Xia Bo never understood why the system didn't display it like a mentally disabled person, even though the combination of archery and seeing, hearing, and color had reached the point of hitting 100 shots. Looking down on archery. This is a big bow that requires 5 tons of tension to pull. I wanted to ask, but the system doesn't have that feature. After practicing for another 4 hours, the wolf warrior flew over with a fierce tiger in his mouth. After finishing his meal, the wolf warrior continued to patrol while Xia Bo continued to exercise. Time passed by day, and all the pirates along the way, landing on the island to deliver vegetables, and the war wolves all cooked alone. Xia Bo is really worry-free, which has led to him becoming more and more indulgent towards Wolf Warrior. As long as it's not a matter of principle, he doesn't care about anything else. For example, in half a month's time, during their hunting journey, war wolves discovered 42 species of females, including birds, tigers, lions, chimpanzees, monkeys, hippopotamuses, ducks, and more. Every time I eat, it's a chaotic mess. Xia Bo's face was also getting darker and darker. Every time he wanted to scold, he sighed helplessly when he saw the pitiful little eyes of the war wolf. At the end of the day, this pot needs to be carried by oneself. Wolf Warrior was originally just an ordinary dog, eating devil's fruit, and it was also a type of mythical beast. After a drastic increase in body size, it was equivalent to a human's intelligence of 7.8 years old, and could not control primitive instincts at all. What a sin! Different types of animals crowed around the war wolves, and Xia Bo looked at the sky with no words. He couldn't help but sigh, "The sea is beautiful, why haven't you come yet?" At this moment, a small boat on the sea bypassed the shallow beach and docked by the dense forest. Xia Bo's eyes lit up. Finally here, Nami. Facing the wind, the girl twisted her long orange hair behind her ear, and her eyebrows were filled with an indelible sadness. Nami held the yellowed and old treasure map in her hand and walked towards the dense forest. 1 billion Bailey, join the dragon pirates and draw a chart for me, and you can buy back Kekiaxi village with 100 million Bailey. Koko Yasi doesn't welcome you, you witch. 7 days ago, she obtained a treasure map that buried all the treasures of Kenya. She did a series of psychological construction, and today she officially set foot on this beast-ridden and least suitable for human landing island of Moro. Opportunities always come with dangers. As long as the gains are substantial, they can be rushed. You know, that's the legendary pirate with a reward of 30 million Bailey. Bless me, Belmer. There are still 50 million Belly left to buy the village. No Gigao, everyone, please be patient. The leaves rubbed lightly in the breeze, heading north and south, with a wind speed of 6 meters per second. Nami silently calculated and then leaned down to listen. Heavy objects stepped on the ground, something came over, and her body should be very large. Nami breathed a long sigh of relief. Half an hour has passed, and this damn silence has finally been broken. She searched for a century-old tree and quickly climbed to the top. In the distance, there was a white-crowned tiger with eyes hanging like a small mountain, knocking down each ancient tree and rushing towards it. This position should not affect here. Boom boom, the king of the jungle was filled with panic, followed by a huge mastiff dog. Suddenly, a surging and murderous aura came from the left side. With a sudden inspiration, it turned right and ran towards the ancient tree where Nami was hiding. Hey hey hey! Don't come over! Bu Jingyun and the square lady couldn't save her, accompanied by a loud noise, bang show, 2 consecutive sounds, the former ancient tree broke, and Nami spiraled into the sky. The latter's arrows are like a ray of light crossing the sky, and when they hit a fierce tiger, they instantly pierce through it, bringing out a line of blood. Rear. Xia Bo sat astride the wolf warrior, holding a black bow in his hand. His black hair danced in the wind, and a smile appeared on the handsome face, which was as sharp as a knife. Finally arrived. The world of pirates is the strongest navigator who can perceive celestial phenomena with his body. Do you need any help? Nami covered her chest and skirt with both hands, looking pitiful and delicate. She gasped out, "Lord Knight, please help me." Xia Bo's whole body trembled, and his desire to save others decreased by 98.72%. Damn it, are women in this world so unpretentious? Sure enough, with a face that is vastly different from that of a reader, we must learn to protect ourselves. Without waiting for him to speak, the wolf warrior could no longer contain the hormones that had nowhere to be placed, and its 4 claws rose up into a red flame cloud. Its body was like an arrow departing from the string, and it appeared perfectly under Nami's body. The dog glared at the pink color in its eyes, and a visible touch of Tuahong appeared. Its back firmly caught Nami. Wow, red heart, be reserved. Xia Bo's face turned black, as anyone who had ever kissed knew that first impressions were very important. This silly dog had a silly appearance, isn't it pure and disruptive? Thank you, my name is Nami and I am an explorer. Xia Bo, wolf warrior. After a brief introduction, with fresh ingredients, they took Nami to the temporary residence at the foot of the mountain. At the entrance of the cave, there is a 100 million Bailey treasure specially prepared for Nami, the snake de chi cun, tailored to the needs of the product. Xia Bo knows the plot and naturally knows what Nami wants the most. 1 billion Bailey, just enough to buy a Coco Yasi. What's wrong? No, it's okay. Nami stared fixedly at Kaibao Mountain, her gaze even brushed. She swore that she had never seen so much money in such a long time. How much would it cost to exchange it for Bailey, like a small mountain of gold and silver? 10 million, 20 million, at least 1 billion. Coco Yasi, oh my god, it feels like she's in love. Xia Bo poked and laughed inwardly. This first step is called flaunting wealth, and the main focus is on not lacking money. Thank you very much for your life-saving kindness. Brother Xia Bo, you are so powerful and have so many treasures. You must be the legendary pirate. Nami clasped her hands together, looking at him with anticipation and nervousness. As long as Xia Bo nodded, she would definitely do everything possible to steal these treasures. I'm afraid Xia Bo is a wild man born in the deep mountains, indifferent to worldly affairs. In case there are any more tragic experiences, oh, my god, that's too bad. There will be a sense of guilt when deceiving. So please, brother Xia Bo, please be a pirate. Even if your dream is to become the pirate king in search for One Piece, it will definitely applaud for you. Chapter 4. Successfully conquered and established the Bomei Pirates team. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Afraid of Xia Bo's suspicion, Nami explained. Let me formally introduce myself. My name is Nami and I am a renowned navigator. My dream is to draw world charts, so I am particularly interested in finding a reliable and powerful pirate captain. The word pirate bites extremely hard, and the eyes sparkle with crazy hints. I, Nami, a navigator, worship pirates. Come and conquer me. If you don't know the plot, you might have been deceived by this adorable little gaze. Zhang Wuji said his mother, never trust beautiful girls. Without it, because hormones are at work, young people can't even grasp it. Draw a world chart. Yeah, ha ha ha. Dreams, adventures, I have decided on Nami. From now on, I will bear your dreams. From today on, the Bomei Pirates team has officially been established. Xia Bo raised his mouth high and placed his hand on her head, emitting heroic laughter. Roar, there is a hint of resentment in the eyes of the wolf warrior. The Bomei Pirates have been established. What should the wolf warrior pirates do and how should they deal with themselves? Why should we call it Bomei? Even if we came first and want to establish a new pirate group, we should also call it Bo Lang Mei. Xia Zhanmei. Xia Zhanlang Bomei is also good. The resentment became angry, and the more I thought about it, the angrier it became. The wolf warrior opened his big mouth and suddenly pounced on Xia Bo. Wow, hey, what are you doing, Sigu? What, why didn't you add your name? You're a pet, why did you add your name? Alright, don't bite me. I fought back after biting. Come on, I'll fight. One person and one dog are fighting in place, completely ignoring Nami who is already in chaos in the wind. Are you joking? Kekiaxi is still being oppressed by the rule of Ah Long, and his favorite Belmer died at the hands of pirates. How could he really become a pirate? Engraving names on dirty pirate flags is absolutely not allowed. Stop it, you two bastards. Do you know what a pirate means, a house of play, Xia Bo punched down the wolf warrior and explained, no, Nami. We were originally pirates, he was the captain of the wolf warrior pirates. Wolf warrior pulled out a 10-centimeter long pirate flag from the dog bell, with a mini dog head holding a bone-like flag. Do you call this the pirate flag? Nami snatched the dog head flag and threw it to the ground, her sharp teeth roaring, bastard, how long are you going to play with me? Seeing her puzzled, Xia Bo recounted his tragic experience of being falsely accused. Becoming a pirate has been predetermined since the awakening of the pirate treasure box system, but there are also many types of pirates, including rampant pirates and steady pirates. The identity of a pirate is simpler, depending on whether there is a flag symbolizing identity. As memories surged up, Xia Bo glanced at the wolf warrior with a dangerous gaze. I chose wolf warrior as my captain because I valued it for not being able to speak, but this troublemaker actually bit a Navy lieutenant colonel, and my owner was falsely accused of being a pirate and even listed on a bounty. Son of a dog, it should be slapped. Why use my name casually when establishing a new pirate group, you bastard? Nami roared angrily and saw that Xia Bo was not speaking, but instead reached out and pointed towards the surroundings. She followed her fingers and looked down at a group of wild beasts gathering under the forest. Nami turned her head, and at some point, birds, tigers, lions, gorillas, monkeys, hippopotamuses, ducks, and everything gathered around her. After Xia Bo explained that these were all members of the wolf pirate squad and were also wolf's wives, Nami counted the heads and became confused. 4. 40.2, You're joking. The captain's greatest power is to recruit crew members, and I can't do anything about it, Xia Bo chuckled to himself, his face full of a look of me doing it for you. Nami remained silent, pondering whether to make a certain sacrifice for the treasure. The two of them had their own ulterior motives, one trying to trick them into getting onto the ship first and then trapping them. One wants to figure out how to take those treasures and run away. Although the results may vary, the prerequisite is to join the so-called Bomei Pirates. Xia Bo sincerely invites. Nami wanted to refuse and welcome. In this way, joining the gang became a matter of course, and then Nami began to try to improve her position in the pirate group, striving for favorable conditions for her future escape. Now it's just the two of us, and from now on, you'll be the vice captain of the Bomei Pirates. There are only 2 members in the Bomei Pirates now, and navigators are usually single co-captains. After all, in the open sea, everyone's wealth and life depend on navigators. What Xia Bo needs to do is to gradually trap Nami, and he has confidence in this. Nami wanted to work part-time in finance, but was startled by a series of barks. Wolf Warrior is angry. Dissolve the Wolf Warrior pirates. Okay, you are the master, you have your word. Establish the Bomei pirates team, okay, you are the master, you have the say. Nami becomes the co-captain, okay, you are the master, you have your say. But what about this dog? My dog is still here, what do you mean by just the two of you? The dog is still here, isn't it considered a crew member? If dog lovers know about digging your ancestral grave, do you believe it? Wong, hold it back. Xia Bo widened his eyes and punched him, from now on, you will be the pet of the Bomei pirates. Status. Damn it, what status do you want as a pet? That's right, Captain Xia Bo Saigao. As for you, you need to call me Captain Lieutenant. Wong. Ahem. Wolf Warrior is not a scapegoat. He pounced and bit, crying and biting. After biting Xia Bo, he bit Nami and chased the two of them all over the mountain. Half an hour later, Nami hid in a big tree and watched as Xia Bo stood still in the sky using the 6 forms moon step. She cried and shouted, Captain Xia Bo, let the Wolf Warrior be a fighter. No, I'm not used to this habit. He just needs to clean up. Wong, soul faint, if you don't agree, I'll also withdraw. Xia Bo's face was strange. Why does this sound like a sense of breaking up without buying a bag? He drew out his waist and cut the moon, then swung his sword and cut it. Dao Loot Sickle Weasel, flying slash is a standard feature for swordsmen, but the difference lies in distance and power. As a swordsman who has just slain steel, it is not enough to slay the sea, but to slay the dog and sprinkle water. Xia Bo just couldn't get used to the Wolf Warrior problem, so he took a series of actions and beat him for half an hour until the Wolf Warrior pretended to be dead. After all the dust settled, Xia Bo began to fulfill his master's duties, barbecue, cook, and feed the war wolf and his 40.2 wives. Eat it, come on, don't cry, you'll be a fighter from now on. As the words fell, the crying wolf suddenly turned over, gesturing for 40.2 wives to line up. His dog head was raised high, like a true beast king, with a proud appearance. As for being beaten just now, what kind of beating? What are you hitting? In his past life, although he brushed the pirate king to the bottom of Teacher Kai, many details may become uncertain over time, but what is accurate is the personality of the main characters. Nami likes money, has a frank personality, is submissive to the outside world, and fights hard internally, but can stand up in critical moments. Moreover, as a member of the passionate anime protagonist group, the main focus is on loyalty and reliability. Now with this obedient appearance, it's uncertain what kind of harm it can hold. There's no other way, just a few words can be enough to be completely devoted to a person, either because the plot requires it, or because the ashes have been thrown away. Nami, in the future, you will be the co-captain, navigator, and chancellor of the exchequer. You will be entrusted with the custody of the ship's assets and eat more. Really? Happiness comes too suddenly, the world is going downhill, and there are not many foolish pirates left. It is necessary to warn the other party of the danger in their hearts. Tuition fees are these treasures. The thought of buying back the village from Long made Nami extremely excited. Thank you for your trust, Captain. You are really a good person. A good person cannot be said to be a good person, but she has confidence in her own strength. It can be said that as long as Xia Bo does not agree, Nami cannot take away this money no matter what method she uses. To do all of this, we just need to use trust and tricks to heal the shattered heart that was hurt by the fishman Long. In his previous life, Xia Bo loved this character very much, especially as long as he truly recognized his beautiful character of never giving up no matter what he faced. At this moment, Nami pulled out the treasure map from the fourth-dimensional space bag. Thieves don't leave empty spaces. 1 duck is for catching, and 2 ducks are also for letting go. After buying the village, rebuilding it also requires money. Moreover, this is the legendary great pirate, Bailey. Of course, more is better. Nami quickly entered the character and explained while watching, pack 100 million Bailey on the back of Wolf Warrior, and the newly established Bomei pirates begin their first treasure hunt. Moro Island is a medium-sized island, with fierce beasts rampant and very dangerous. Wolf Warrior is not afraid, walking on flat ground is no different from strolling in her backyard. During this time, Xia Bo even taught Nami what true amphibious warfare is. As a pirate, treasure hunter, and explorer, Xia Bo cannot tolerate the weakness of being despised by the sea, and has never thought of eating any demonic fruits. Archaeology doesn't know water, how can we go to the tomb? As for the battle, swordsmanship, physique, archery, and dominance are enough, fists and punches to the flesh, 1 sword chops and explodes is the romance of men. What, unable to move, constantly chopping, what does this mean? It means you're still practicing. Arrived at the crocodile pond. Nami's face hesitated, she was very certain that Kenya's treasure was here. To obtain the treasure, one must first drive out these crocodiles, but the surroundings are covered with vegetation and there is not even a place to settle. As for fighting the crocodile, stop making trouble, it will kill you. She likes Bailey very much, especially when Alone suggested that Bailey could be bought back from the village with 100 million, money became linked to life, becoming evil and sacred. But if we do anything for Bailey, disregarding the lives of others, what is the difference between us and Aaron? How is this kind of self-worth Belmer's life to protect? Can't do it. Just as they met, they disbanded the pirate group and recruited people to join, foolishly handing over all their treasures. No matter how bad the silly guy is, they are just simple fools. A battle between heaven and man, Nami made a decision that went against her 6-year commitment. Well, maybe I made a mistake. Let's go look elsewhere. After speaking, he turned his head and left, afraid that he would regret it the next second. As we walked, we didn't hear any footsteps. Turning our heads, Xia Bo and the Wolf Warrior stood quietly in front of the high cliff. Let's go. Hey, let's go. You won't really want to go on, will you? You'll die. And I'm telling you, many treasure maps are fake. Even if they are real, as long as you stay 1 step late, you'll get nothing. There's no need to risk your life for an unknown. She had an anxious expression on her face, but that little strength couldn't even pull Xia Bo. Xia Bo lowered his head. Nami, your dream is to draw a world map, right? I forgot to tell you, my dream is to travel the world and search for all the treasures. So, we are natural partners. He looked into her eyes with a bright smile and then jumped up. Undoubtedly, he is a top-notch navigator who can sense the changes in the sea with his body. The treasure box system sells treasure maps, including 1 million bronze bellies, 10 million silver bellies, and 100 million gold bellies. Nami didn't know yet that the treasure map in her hand was a gold treasure map that cost 100 million Bailey. Later, dozens of copies were printed and spread by Xia Bo. From obtaining the treasure map to arriving at the island of Moro and locking in the treasure location, it will definitely not exceed 7 days. But he himself took half a month. What is this called? This is talent. Wait for me to retrieve our treasure. Yeah, ha ha ha. Nami was stunned, then pulled back to reality by the cheerful laughter. The young man looked like a girl, without hesitation or doubt, and jumped down without hesitation. His eyes seemed to be ablaze with flames, carefree and bold, even giving him a thumbs up, indicating that there was no need to worry. Damn it, who do you think you are, a self-righteous bastard? With so many crocodiles, even if there is a treasure, what can you do? You will die. Don't, I have to make a deal with Nami as a partner. Even if Jesus comes, I can't do it. What I said. The deep pool of water splashed everywhere, and soon it began to turn red, crocodiles with white bellies flipped up one by one, covered in terrifying sword wounds. Xia Bo killed several inconspicuous crocodiles in a pretense, then released a hint of domineering aura to force the crocodiles back and slowly dive. Grandmaster once said, "Sincerity is not a must-kill skill, routine is." Unfortunately, these crocodiles are too weak. Otherwise, extending their arms to let the crocodile take a bite and earn 2 drops of tears from a beautiful woman. After doing everything well, he picked up the treasure chest and swam up. Yeah, ha ha ha. Nami, found it. Xia Bo carried the treasure chest and flew into the air. Bastard, who allows you to make your own decisions? Nami breathed a sigh of relief. Anyway, it's good if the person hasn't died, and the harvest this time seems to be even richer than imagined. And with a clean smile, the appearance of carrying a treasure chest is quite handsome. The golden treasure chest, loved by love. Bang, the treasure chest landed. Yuan, years of treasure hunting experience have told Nami that this item is definitely in stock for both its appearance and weight. Xia Bo crossed his waist and shouted, "Vice Captain Nami, come and open the treasure chest." "Yes, Captain." Nami responded loudly, so excited that she even bowed to Xia Bo and walked up to the treasure chest with a fierce face, devoutly opening it. A golden light flashed past, and a whole box of treasures appeared in front of him. Ah, this damn golden light almost blinded my mother's eyes, but it's really so happy. If you must go blind, that's the most perfect way, right? She gripped the treasure with both hands and fell into an intracranial orgasm, her face full of intoxication. Xiaoqing, Nami regained her senses and saw the two of them squatting on either side, staring at her, with a blush rising from their fair cheeks. It's over, the image of a financial fanatic has been exposed. She howled in her heart, and then Yu Guang discovered the extremely disharmonious beef jerky in the treasure chest. A well-shaped character floats on the forehead. Damn it, such a sacred treasure chest should hold food. If it were to be exchanged for gold, how much Pele would it be? Wow, food. Xia Bo snatched the beef jerky and walked aside to study, ignoring the treasure in the chest. Wolf Warrior followed closely behind, his black nose kept sniffing, and all the saliva flowed out. Nami was numb. How foolish was she to turn a blind eye to treasure and instead be so interested in a bag of beef jerky? Well, it doesn't matter. That bag of beef jerky should be their treasure hunt reward. These treasures are all from the old lady. Her little abacus jingled and she instantly allocated the treasure. Little did they know that the sailor beef jerky made from the fantasy class of the golden treasure chest could not be simple. Mariner beef jerky, effect. Restores a lot of stamina and permanently increases a little strength. P.S. To conquer the sea, one must have sufficient physical strength and a strong physique. There is a saying in the Navy that the purpose is to cooperate with the 6 styles, and only Superman's physique with a Tao value exceeding 500 can practice the 6 styles. However, this kind of combat effectiveness setting is really confusing. Xia Bo is not sure how much of his Taoist power he has, but he eats foods like this that increase his strength. Nowadays, in addition to exercise, this strong physique is also thanks to foods that can increase strength. Treasure map. Nami exclaimed in surprise. Xia Bo quickly threw the beef jerky to the wolf warrior, warning him not to steal it, otherwise he would slap it. Ahem, the wolf warrior was dissatisfied and then stuffed the beef jerky into the small bell on the collar. The small bell with the size of Mantu can easily hold beef jerky several times of its own. Nami was still immersed in the excitement of discovering the treasure map and did not notice any abnormalities in the wolf warrior. Otherwise, she would have screamed and tried everything possible to steal the wolf warrior's little bell. Xia Bo, look, my goodness, this is the first time I've seen a treasure map made of crystals. It's still so soft. How did I do it? This blue transparent blueprint, with its ultra-high appearance and incredible flexibility, captured Nami. I really want it. Even if there is no treasure in the next treasure hunt, it's okay as long as there are such blueprints. 100 million Bailey has already pooled together, and the money has become a hobby, but the drawings are different. Drawing nautical charts is a dream. Do you want it? Of course, if we could find this kind of paper and draw a world chart, it would be such a happy thing. No navigator would refuse, right? Xia Bo is non-committal. Bronze, silver, and gold are all ordinary paper, while platinum turns into crystal. Indeed, price determines quality. 5 billion Baileys are so terrifying. I don't know what diamonds will be. Great, everyone, the first treasure hunt of the Bomei Pirates team has officially begun. Roar, hey. It's the first time, isn't it the second time? Chapter 5. Help me, help me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kaka, the sky was filled with thunderclouds, and the darkness was overwhelming. The sea was rough, and 3 naval headquarters ships were sailing in the direction of Moro Island. Brubulu Gio Brubulu, hello. A domineering yet pleasant voice sounded, dressed in a white righteous cloak, with long and tight legs stepping on a wooden bucket, pink long hair dancing in the wind, a lady's cigarette in her mouth, impatiently facing the phone worm. At the moment when the pink phone worm answered, 2 large cigars suddenly appeared in its mouth, roaring angrily. Tina, didn't we agree to act together? Why did you leave on your own? Smog, pay attention to your tone of voice. Tina is a colonel, you're just a lieutenant colonel, don't yell at Tina. Colonel of the Navy headquarters, a superhero with the ability to tie the threshold and fruit, Tina. Cut, the phone worm pouted and was very unhappy, imitating the other end of Smog perfectly. Lieutenant Colonel of the Navy headquarters, with the ability to smoke fruits in the Department of Nature, Smog. Tina will definitely catch those 2 bastards with her own hands. You better guard Rog Town, Tina doesn't want to be scolded with you. Be careful then. Bark, hanging up the phone worm, Tina helped her black sunglasses. Thinking of the Wolf Warrior and the Great Warrior, Xia Bo, who were known as Hellfire by the Wolf Pirates, her fair face involuntarily blushed and her teeth itched with hatred. Accelerate the voyage, Tina must catch these 2 despicable pirates with her own hands. The center of Moro Island. Due to the rain, Nami strongly suggests taking a day off on the island while counting money in the cave. Money, 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 a lot of money, mine, mine, all of it is mine. A total of 123 million yuan worth of treasure, along with a gold chest. Nami said she had never fought such a wealthy war in her life. Steadily peeking out of the cave, Xia Bo is barefoot, wearing only a pair of black cylindrical pants, constantly practicing with his sword. When rainwater touches the body that is hot due to exercise, it turns into white water vapor. It's hard to imagine how terrifying the power lies hidden within that body. It's really reassuring. Although we have only been together for less than a day, the sincerity and trust still inadvertently entered the girl's heart. Nami is holding a platinum treasure map. When the treasure is found, it's better to only take the 50 million belly that can buy the village. Silently making a decision, she poured the treasure onto the ground and lay there rolling, completely ecstatic. Enjoy it for a while. Barely 2 hours later, the Wolf Warrior, who had gone to bid farewell to his 40.2 wives, returned trembling. Bastard, what are you doing in broad daylight? You still have prey, why did you come back empty-handed? The war-wolf squinted its eyes and walked into the cave 3 times in a wobbly manner. It was now very tired and didn't want to deal with this foolish master who didn't understand the wind and moon, only knew how to eat with iron. Xia Bo understood this look and felt offended. Draw a large and fast sword to cut the moon, with a white rope on the handle, a silver white blade, and a flame-like blade text, which is very handsome. The attached armed color hardened, and it also entered the cave. Bastard, please stop me. I must slap you today. Ahem. At a high point on the island, Tina, who had already landed, put down her telescope, drew out her long sword from her waist, and showed a cold smile. The distance for basic perception of color and danger is only 500 meters. She observed from a kilometer away for an afternoon and was very confident that the master and servant were now at their weakest point. Tina's eyes are dirty, but it's not in vain for Tina to wait so long. This time, Tina must cut off the source of evil. Making a declaration, Tina waved her hand and quickly headed towards the center of the island with a group of subordinates. Nami, please step aside. I must chop it today. Wow, you can't do this to me, the two of them argued, but Nami was very flustered because in front of her was Xia Bo, who was 3.2 meters tall, and behind her was a larger giant dog. My weak woman, who is 1.7 meters tall, is sandwiched in the center and shivers. Alright, when the rain stops, I'll take you to a big meal. Stop making noise. Okay, I'll let you go this time. Xia Bo borrowed the slope, and the cave was small. He was also afraid that the war would affect Nami. With his small physique, he could sing cool songs with just a knife and a paw. Wolf Warrior also saw this clearly, so it hid behind Nami and did not come out. It is a clever group of mastiffs with 40.2 wives. Suddenly, a murderous aura came from afar, warning of the aura of dominance. Xia Bo put away his playful expression and turned to a serious expression. The master and servant share the same intention, and the wolf guards Nami behind her, bares its teeth and looks out of the cave, making an attacking posture. Not good, it's that crazy woman. Wolf Warrior collects money, Nami gets in the car, the enemy is coming, ho, roar. Wolf Warrior's eyes widened as he turned around and pounced on the unfolded treasure, his paws constantly embracing the money in the bell. The treasure on the ground disappeared at an incredible speed. Nami was stunned, her mouth slightly opened, then grew bigger and bigger, and finally let out a scream that broke through the sky. She took out the folding stick combination from the fourth-dimensional bag and threw it at the dog's head. Bastard, spit out my money. Ahem, Wolf Warrior didn't care at all, even showing a very humane smile. However, seeing Xia Bo's solemn expression, he dared not hide his face. He gently pushed his big head against Nami and pouted upwards, allowing Nami to sit on his back. Ahem, Wolf Warrior smiled contentedly, glanced down at Xia Bo, and walked out with a strong and imposing aura. Internally, Xia Bo is the master. Externally, the Wolf Warrior is the captain of the Wolf Pirate Squad, and Xia Bo is just a pet and has no qualifications to ride himself. Xia Bo followed behind with a strange expression on his face. If I remember correctly, the Wolf Pirates had just disbanded. Just out of the cave, Tina, dressed in a cloak of justice, has led over 100 sailors to surround several people and make it impossible for them to escape. Pirates of the Wolf Pirates, you have been surrounded by Tina. Tina only said once, give up resistance, surrender obediently. After finishing speaking, she frowned slightly and pointed to Nami on the back of the Wolf Warrior. Tina asked you, are you also a member of the Wolf Pirate Squad? Hey! Nami, who was still in a daze, pointed foolishly at herself and said, am I? Oh my God, who can say what's going on here? How could there be so many navies? Help me, help me. Chapter 6. This woman poses great harm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In order to bring the treasure of legendary pirate Kenya to Moro Island, encountering a rough young man and a colored dog, I joined a newly formed pirate group in a daze and even became a co-captain, happily mentioning 123 million Bailey. The future is bright, and a beautiful life is within reach. But who can explain why so many navies suddenly emerged? Misunderstanding. How could I possibly be a member of the Wolf Pirates crew? It's all a misunderstanding. Nami's mood at the moment was shattered. She tried her best to look like a victim. I haven't bought the village back from Ah Long yet, absolutely, I can't be arrested. Noa Chigao, everyone is waiting for him. Sorry, Xia Bo. Nami grabbed her short skirt tightly, afraid to look at Xia Bo, clearly a despicable pirate scum. Xia Bo carried the moon and walked slowly to the front, with the tip of his sword pointing straight ahead, saying, "Nami is right. She is not a member of the wolf pirate squad." The voice is loud and firm, without hesitation. "Is this protecting me?" Nami's eyes flashed with a hint of melancholy and shame. The despicable group of war wolves and pirates dare to kidnap civilians. "Tina will not let you go." Tina's killing intent grew stronger in her eyes, and as expected, all the pirates were the same. This 2-year-old wolf pirates team also began to attack civilians. If I had been holding on to cutting off the source of their sins before, and then throwing them into the advancing city. So now. Eliminate all evil. The sky thundered and roared, the rain poured heavily, and a major battle was imminent. Tina raised her long sword high, and when it fell, it would officially sound the battle horn. Xia Bo shouted, "Wait a moment. What, are you trying to threaten Tina with hostages? Damn pirate." Tina's contempt grew stronger in her eyes, and she put down her knife with a displeased expression. The adjutant next to her wanted to say something, but was hit back by a stern look. "Guardianship is justice. What a nice day." Xia Bo looked up and let the rain wash away. "Hey, that navy, you're late. The wolf pirate squad you wanted to capture has just disbanded." "Nani? Nani?" the navy exclaimed in surprise, unable to articulate its tone. After a little confusion and surprise, there was also shock and regret. Hey, what kind of expression are you guys? Don't look at it anymore, it's just you. What a pity you're so aggressive, you're going too far." Xia Bo had a black line on his face, which was a bit offensive. Deputy Herald felt his expression lose control and he restrained into a serious look. "This fleet comes from the North Sea. 2 years ago, Lieutenant Colonel Tina took office and locked in the wolf pirates. Later, with the approval of the headquarters, he chased and captured 1 person and 1 dog for 2 years. Whether it's chasing after Xia Bo's rampant public tourism around the world. Commander Tina's unreasonable increase in strength even made him defeat this pair of CPs. Navy hero Lieutenant General Cap is so famous, and his strength is one aspect, but most importantly, he has a good opponent. The man who can make the Pirate King run around with his head in his mouth makes people feel inexplicably sharp just by hearing it. So good opponents are important and necessary. The most convincing point is that Chief Smog, who graduated at the same time as Tina, was still a lieutenant colonel. Tina was already a colonel, and if it weren't for her lack of merit, she could have directly become a general. Cute Tina hasn't become a general yet, is it too early to disband the wolf pirates? Ha ha ha, Tina burst out a domineering laugh and said, finally, Tina's first opponent, the wolf pirates, was finally defeated by Tina. Next, as long as we capture you, Tina will be successful. Her fair face showed a hint of redness, incredibly uplifted, and a look of full energy. 2 years ago, when I joined Beihai, my first opponent was the wolf pirates. That was the first time in my life to lead a team as the highest official, and it was also the first time I suffered a disastrous defeat. This is a shame. It must be done by oneself. Surrender obediently, Tina, spare you from dying. Tina exerted her strength with all her feet, leaving a small hole on the ground. Her armed and domineering aura attached itself to the blade, and she slashed it fiercely. Xia Bo does not dodge or dodge, and the blade also adheres to an armed and domineering aura, fiercely chopping down. With a loud bang, the spinning cyclone spread outward from the center of 2 people, and the terrifying force of Xia Bo instantly pushed Tina back 3 steps. In previous battles, Tina was always the one who was split off, only taking 3 steps back made her more excited. The lady's cigarette in her mouth was also spit out on the ground and charged up again. The 2 of them engaged in intense combat and fought against each other over 100 times. When the blades clashed with each other again, Xia Bo sighed, this woman is really strong. Hey, can someone finish speaking, a woman with a bad personality? What can I say until Tina catches you? How dare I harm civilians? Tina must teach you a lesson. Nami is numb. If possible, she would like to say. Thank you, please go back. Your arrival is completely delaying my mother's earnings. She is not good at fighting and cannot see what their strength represents. She just thinks they are very powerful and evenly matched. But this is very bad, because there is still an army on the Navy side sharpening their knives, so we can't rely on this lecherous dog. So it's time to consider a retreat. My gaze was fixed on the little bell, thinking about how to get it. As a gesture of apology, I might as well visit them in prison in the future. Well, correct it, Nami is my partner, I won't hurt her. Oh, Nami looked at Xia Bo, what kind of devil was speaking? Navy. Double exclamation mark. Number 39, bastard, are you teasing Tina? Feeling a 3-point increase in strength in her hand, Xia Bo was also somewhat speechless. This woman is not only crazy, but also explosive. My body, which has just been training to a point where I feel a bit exhausted, is a bit overwhelmed. I secretly reduced the 15 times gravity attached to my body by 1 and continued, I'm not lying to you. The wolf pirates disbanded today, and now we are the Bomei pirates, I serve as the captain, and Nami is the co-captain and navigator. There was a moment of silence in the whole room. What kind of mysterious operation is this? Are pirates so hasty now? Wang, the wolf warrior, barked and looked at Xia Bo in a fit of anger. It was enough to disband the pirates and lower their status, and they didn't even mention it during the introduction. Uncle can tolerate it, even Aunt can't tolerate it. Tina looked up in confusion, and Nami awkwardly waved, hi, it's over, it's settled now. It's unbelievable. What kind of strength would make the wolf pirates team even willing to disband and invite them to board the ship? Deputy Herald looked wary. Nami. No strength at all, thank you. Yes, the Bomei Pirates group is actually named after a name, we can't underestimate it. Nami. No need at all. Deputy Herald shouted, the whole army is on guard, be careful of this woman named Nami. Seeking bean sack. Nami still wanted to explain, but was interrupted by Xia Bo's heroic laughter. Just explain it, why do pirates need to explain to the Navy? Yahahaha, how could you let me harm my partner, wolf warrior? The battle continued, without giving Nami a chance to speak. Xia Bo stood on the back of the wolf and charged forward, hitting deep into the dense forest. 4 hours later, when the 12th black threshold was inserted into the wolf's buttocks, Xia Bo finally realized his conscience and dodged the blockade of the black threshold to repel Tina. He ordered the wolf to accelerate, and the few quickly disappeared into the dense forest. Tina still wanted to chase, but was stopped by more than 10 large beasts. She gritted her silver teeth and recognized these fierce beasts. Damn bastard, Tina is very angry. Chapter 7. Look at my 40-meter black knife. You are listening at novel full.audio. The sea breeze is gentle, and the moonlight is sparse. A medium-sized fast-sailing ship with a rear mast triangular sail and a central rudder is sailing on the sea level, riding the wind and breaking the waves. On the deck of the Megatron. Wolf Warrior pouted his butt, with 12 neatly arranged black sills fluttering in the wind. Is it really okay? How about taking it out? Nami is a bit worried. After all, taking medicine to treat illness and injuries is common knowledge. Moreover, releasing goodwill appropriately is more conducive to future actions, such as borrowing a small bell to play with for a few days. The wolf warrior was moved in his eyes and crawled up to Nami, rubbing against her with a friendly expression. Along the way, he didn't forget to scratch Xia Bo's eyes hard. Soul faint, quickly pull out the black threshold. If you delay for a while, the wound will heal and grow into flesh. It's okay, it can handle it on its own. Xia Bo remembered that the goods had been wasted all afternoon and returned empty-handed, causing him to fight hungry. But Nami hesitated to speak. She roared in her heart, "Who cares about this? It's treasure, treasure, that bell contains your own treasure." Mature, wolf warrior. Xia Bo scolded. At this moment he was teasing Tina, who was chasing her from afar, playing with someone called Hai Pai. 2 months without seeing each other, the madwoman's domineering and fruity abilities have increased again. Her skills have become more and more proficient, truly a woman with the talent of a great general. It's truly terrifying. The expression of admiration and pride can make Na Meichi feel incredibly beautiful. If it weren't for his unfamiliarity and uncertainty about Xia Bo's true temperament, he would definitely have beaten this bastard hard. Xia Bo didn't explain either. Nurturing is also a man's pleasure. Pirates are always caught by the navy. Instead of looking for those big men, it's better for Tina to be energetic. Moreover, the opponent has the talent of a great general, and as the advantageous side, wouldn't it be even more powerful? The future is predictable, the future is predictable. Woo-woo, wolf warrior was ignored, his tail swept back and forth a few times, familiar and heartbreaking. The animal's ability to recover from eating the demon fruit of the animal series is amazing. In no time, the wound will heal. It hangs its tongue and lies on the deck, its heart bleeding uncontrollably. Xia Bo turned around and said, "Throw those black sills into the sea and clean up the deck." Wolf warriors only emit dog barks when they are extremely angry but helpless. No, you must find an animal to board the ship and elevate your status, otherwise you won't be able to live these days. Nami, please take a look at the treasure map. Which direction are we going to go next? Xia Bo has some expectations. A platinum treasure map worth 500 million Bailey. If you can create a high-end in domineering color, just take off. Nothing can stop the Bomei pirates from searching for treasure. Nami also became interested and took out the treasure map from the fourth-dimensional bag, studying it carefully. Naval deck. As Tina watched the increasingly distant group of Bomei pirates, she angrily put down her telescope. What is the Ministry of Science doing? Why can't warships catch up with medium-sized sailboats? Tina is very angry. Missing this opportunity, we can only wait for Xia Bo and his team to make their next landing on the island for an arrest operation. However, it is not without gains. After all, knowing that the wolf pirates had disbanded and the Bomei pirates had been established, all because of that mysterious woman named Nami. Tina needs to report this news to our headquarters. Return to Logue Town. Thinking of setting off confidently and refusing the help of his friend Smog's fist, he finally let Xia Bo run away. He will definitely be ridiculed by Yen Nan when he goes back. Tina stood on the deck with a gloomy face and remained silent, covered in low pressure. Deputy Harold's face was heavy as he silently remembered. The 42nd arrest successfully destroyed the Wolf Warrior pirate squad and captured Wolf Warrior, and Xia Bo failed. Brew brew pull brew brew brew, this is a call from our headquarters. According to intelligence, it has been active in the first half of the Great Voyage, offering a reward of 110 million Bailey. Goldbeck appeared in the East China Sea and is now ordering your troops to depart immediately. We will send you the location information later. Is it 110 million? Tina understands. Boss, what exactly happened when our brothers came to the East China Sea with you, almost to the death? Goldbeck gave a mysterious smile, and before he could speak, he suddenly felt the window shake and a crew member eagerly entered the room. Boss, the Navy is here and attacking us. Navy. The weakest navy in the sea dares to attack me. I really don't know what to do. Goldbeck let out a strange laugh, and then walked out of the cabin to see Tina standing high in the air. With a cold and beautiful face, slender and round thighs, and a cloak of justice grinning, everything was stuck in Goldbeck's XP. Goldbeck rolled his throat and laughed cruelly, coupled with his nearly 4-meter-tall body, a sense of malice surged in his face. Tina's face turned cold. Through intelligence, she learned that the opponent's bounty was 70 million yuan for strength, and the other 40 million yuan for sin. Burning, killing, looting, slaughtering villages and towns, committing all kinds of evil. When encountering this kind of pirate, Tina lazily said a word, just raised her right hand high, and the black bars extended upwards, finally converging into a 40-meter black sword. Black silk 24 wheels, as the words fell, all the crew members, including Goldbeck, were struck with a thunderous slash in their frightened eyes. The terrifying force instantly shattered the large pirate ship and split it in two. First, the 40-second arrest failed, then we encountered these pirate scum, and finally, Goldbeck's despicable gaze and height. Everything is like stacking buffs. Tina was furious, completely enraged. After smashing the pirate ship, the 40-meter-long sword did not dissipate. She lifted and smashed it down, then lifted and smashed it down again, for 24 consecutive times. The pirate group led by Goldbeck was mercilessly killed by the irritable Tina, and their bodies sank into the sea. After all the dust settled, Tina returned to the warship amidst the adorable little gazes of the navy. She lit her cigarette and took a light puff, her face repeating the smile she had before landing on the island of Moro, and said lightly, "Salvage the body and return to sea for delivery." Deputy Herald commanded his subordinates to salvage the body, but I came to Tina to pay tribute. To be honest, one strike to destroy the ship is a standard configuration for a general. With this kind of leadership, the future can be said to be bright, coupled with Tina's claim to be a flower in the Navy. If we don't lick it now, let's wait for some time. I just can't figure out why facing Wolf Warrior it should not be used during the Bomei Pirates. Even if it's not useful for Xia Bo, you can still use this move to slay the dog. Just ask when you think of it. Bang! Tina maintained a high leg lift, her beautiful eyes scraping at the adjutant embedded in the deck, hating to leave. Before encountering Xia Bo, the fruit development of the threshold was in various prison shapes, square, flat, long, round, from outside to inside, and from inside to outside. And then suddenly it began to merge and grow. Is that all? How could Tina listen to a pirate's advice? Humph. Chapter 8. The Old Pirate, No Nonsense. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Megatron. Xia Bo couldn't help but sigh when he saw that Nami was working hard. As a half-hearted treasure hunter for 10 years, he could finally be laid off. Treasure hunting is a professional job, with a large number of kingdoms and countless recorded and unrecorded islands in every sea area. It's really not possible to find a destination in the vast ocean without some professional knowledge. No one is perfect, and some things really require talent. If you want to learn and can continue to learn, then everyone is a university professor. Nami's gaze switched, compared, and calculated longitude and latitude on the treasure map and the East China Sea map, and her fingers finally clicked on a blank space. Although there is no annotation on the chart, it should be correct here. Great, let's go. Nami's heart warmed, and this unwavering trust was the most touching. But she hasn't forgotten the battle plan she just made. Gently pull up his hand and shake it. Captain, you said that I will take care of all the treasures on the ship. That's right, I'll have the Wolf Warrior give you all the money later. But. Nami picked up a bottle of rum and tried her best not to open the cork. It's reasonable for women to be weak and unable to open bottle caps, right? How to carry so many treasures? You should give yourself the small bell, which is a reasonable distribution. Only then can Nami better manage and protect the wealth of the Bomei pirates, right? She handed it over with a weak expression on her face, her big eyes bulging. Captain, can you help me drive it? Xia Bo didn't pretend to be foolish and decisively shook his head to refuse. The bell that blends demon fruit, Superman series, and cuckoo fruit has a huge alien space warehouse inside, which is very precious. But rejection has nothing to do with value. The little bell is the private property of Wolf Warrior, and he has no right to make this decision. One person and one dog claim to be masters and servants, but in fact, they are partners with completely equal status. This is also the fundamental reason why he beats Wolf Warrior when he disagrees. Nami agreed with this statement, but still didn't give up. If Wolf Warrior voluntarily gives it to me, then there's no problem, right? No problem. Yo ho, long live the captain. Nami happily left the living room, and during the following days of sailing, she devoted all her energy to the Wolf Warrior, using all her might and even resorting to seductive schemes. Rao is the 5 fans of Wolf Warrior who have been fascinated by it, promising a series of unequal treaties, but still stubbornly guarding the little bell. After being rejected 1001 times, I had to temporarily give up until I arrived at my destination and saw a medium-sized island in sight. With the last treasure hunt, the legendary pirate Kenya has become deeply ingrained in people's hearts. She exclaimed more than once, truly deserving of being a great pirate even higher than the reward offered by Long. The treasure is really much larger. Now that she has seen her destination, she can't wait to find more crystal paper. No mistake, this should be the legendary pirate, the true treasure trove of the Kenyan captain. Suddenly, Nami let out a scream of surprise, and through the telescope, she saw the harbor and heard a pirate ship floating with pirates. There is a person confronting a group of people at the port, and the captain of the pirate group is holding a little girl with a knife. She recognized the other party's pirate flag, and the captain of the other party was a pirate with a reward of 8 million, which was not easy to provoke. It's despicable to take a little girl as a hostage or something. Xia Bo, what should we do now? Bring the ship over. Xia Bo took out the sun-shooting bow, his eyes gradually turning cold. Nami glanced at the war-wolf on the deck and shouted towards the control room, although she had never seen a third creature besides Xia Bo and the war-wolf, but as long as you speak, this ship can follow the instructions and sail, don't hesitate. Asking Xia Bo Yuan only gave her a mysterious smile and asked her to go see it herself. Please, how dare a weak woman go alone to see such a supernatural ghost ship? Just thinking about it can scare people to death. What if I see something that shouldn't be seen and get killed and silenced? Let's go, let's go. Xi. Xia Bo drew a bow to pull the full moon, and black arrows appeared on the strings. After entering the range of sight, smell, and color perception 500 meters away from the port, he decisively loosened the strings. Shoo! The arrow pierced through the sky and arrived in an instant, accurately passing through the captain's eyebrows. Fast, accurate, ruthless, stable, without dragging mud or talking nonsense, it looks like an old pirate. The pirate gang was confused, and the young man who was facing the pirate was also confused. The scene fell into silence for a while, which made Xia Bo feel a bit toothache. Later, he saw the young man turn his head, a head of black hair, normal skin color, freckles on both cheeks, wearing an orange cowboy hat, staring in amazement. Xia Bo is a good person who will do it to the end, continuously pulling the bow, with the little girl as the center, and those who approach will die. When Megatron docked, all but the little girl and boy died. Anchor-breaking riding Wolf Warrior, jumped down in one fell swoop. Yeah, Wolf Warrior is covered in black satin-like fur, with a shiny reflection and excellent appearance. Xia Bo was even more amazing, with a sun-arched bow on his back, wielding a 2.2-meter sharp sword to cut the moon. Coupled with that heroic smile, he looked like an ancient warrior. Nami sat behind Xia Bo, in a chaotic and panicked state. The little girl still had tears on her face and said, "Wow. Freckle boy. Good. So powerful." Seeing the adoration in the eyes of the two, Xia Bo became even more proud. The wild faction was like this, and if it were the gorgeous faction, wouldn't it have to be a matter of minutes? Suddenly, with a pain in her lower back and eyes, when Nami ran to find the little girl, he came to the boy's side and said, "Yahahaha children, haven't you been injured?" "Cool, cool, cool." The young man approached and looked back and forth, but with limited vocabulary, he could only praise him with his sleeping trough. "By the way, my name is Ace and I am the freest pirate. Thank you for your help just now. Xia Bo looked at it calmly and confirmed that this Ace was the posthumous son of Pirate King Gold Roger, who longed for freedom, believed in fate but was unwilling to accept it. The man who ultimately washed himself to death. He doesn't comment on Ace's decision to pursue Blackbeard alone, and free choice is the romance of a man. Whether it's pain or sadness, he must accept it calmly. After all, pirates are not just experts. Yeehaha, Ace, you're great. Is there a bar on this island? Let's have a drink together. Okay, I know a bar where the owner is very nice and the wine is also very good. Don't ask for a reason, do whatever you want, brush off your clothes and go. Ace felt the breath of freedom from Xia Bo, but his liking increased significantly at first sight. So Ace, I'll give you a task to get their money back, and we'll wait for you at the bar. Yuan, Nami suddenly turned her head and quickly approached the two of them, saying that she could just hand over the money to herself. How could a man do these trivial things? Hurry up and have a drink, and then Nami will arrive. Yeah, hahaha, it's really reliable, Nami, then I'll rely on you. Ace, let's go. Nami happily boarded the pirate ship in Shanghai, from beginning to end, without leaving any corner behind. Chapter 9. Shipping, Devil Fruit, Grounddog form. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The island is called Qatar Island, and the little girl's name is Carol. She is 7 years old this year. As soon as she arrived at the bar, she saw the house in ruins, along with a few villagers and pirates lying in a pool of blood. The landlady was overjoyed to see Carol safe and sound, and at the same time, to express her gratitude, drink alcohol for free, feel free to drink. So it's a cliché pirate looting scene. Tons. After drinking a large glass of beer, Xia Bo took a deep breath. Because the wolf warrior was too big and didn't want to disturb the sad villagers, he casually found an open space to drink. After a while, Xia Bo saw Nami carrying a bag and following 4 ragged women into the bar. After a while, she walked out alone. Hey, Xia Bo, I gave all that money to the landlady. Do you have any objections? Of course not, you have the final say in the matter of money. Yeah, Nami's expression softened slightly. The scene she had just seen in the cabin reminded her of the village of Kokoja, which once again aroused her disgust towards the pirates. Poured a glass of beer and drank it all in one gulp. Ace raised his glass and said, Xia Bo, you're really unique. Yeah, how can a man express sadness? It's so interesting. The banquet started, infected by several people, and in order to ease the sadness, the landlady made an amazing decision, unlimited in number, all for free. The villagers set up a bonfire and the carnival began. When it was time to drink, Xia Bo even pulled the war wolf to perform the Ula war dance. Along the way, she didn't forget to dance with Nami and Ace. Ula. Although Nami's face was full of disgust, a smile appeared in her eyes. She could feel the 3.2-meter-tall boy guiding her in his own way. In the world of pirates, betrayal and slaughter are the main themes. Sincerity is precious, who dares to betray, either you die or I die. The full moon is in the sky, facing the moonlight, a few people sat around the swaying campfire, with the wolf lying beside it and Carol lying on its head, snoring soundly. Ace looked up, satisfied with all his fantasies about pirates today. Xia Bo, Nami, and Wolf Warrior, should we become my companions? Xia Bo looked at Nami and Wolf Warrior and smiled at each other, saying, don't *2, ahem. Ace was angry and said, hey, this is the first time I've invited a friend to go out to sea in a year. I rejected it too decisively. Because of that man, he didn't rush to find a partner, but sailed aimlessly to observe. Just as I decided to invite the crew to join the great voyage, I was rejected. Yeah, my friend, regret is also a kind of romance. One day, fate will bring us back together again, which will be the hottest time. You guy. Ace trembled all over and suddenly looked up to the sky, shouting, "You said it so well. Raise your glass again," and Carol, who was awakened, also picked up the juice and raised their glasses together. The wonderful experience of this day taught Carol a truth that judging a person's good or bad is never about their identity. The Navy is all good people. Pirates have both bad and good people. 3 days later, Ace ran towards the sea again, and the Bomei pirates also began searching for treasure. Qatar Island is a medium-sized island, and because it is inhabited by humans, the dangers to ordinary people are not worth mentioning to Xia Bo. Soon, Nami was locked into a cave in the back mountain. Looking at the 2-meter-high cave entrance, the wolf warrior instinctively lay on the side, and Xia Bo cat waist and Nami entered the cave. The cave twists and turns, with narrow areas resembling long corridors and wide areas resembling squares. Occasionally, the sound of water flowing in the ear is very stimulating. Xia Bo deliberately took a few slow steps and calmly took out a small camera phone worm from his arms, then gently patted Nami's shoulder. He was skilled and bold, but Nami remained vigilant at all times. This immediately startled her, her face full of fear. Click. Xia Bo is thrilled, these are precious memories and proof of adventure. I didn't see Nami entering rampage mode at all. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, take off, snap. Duong, damn it, don't scare people at this time. Don't say that, when we get old, these are all precious memories for us. Yes, then you can make me look more beautiful. The following journey was filled with continuous clicking sounds, various poses and group photos, just like traveling, until we saw a platinum treasure chest measuring 1 meter at the end. Ha, I found my treasure. Xia Bo quickly grabbed the excited Nami. This was the first time, and some rules must be explained clearly. 1. Flag must be planted. 2. He must first pray and thank the god of the treasure chest. 3. You must wash your hands. The rules are a bit boring and mystical, but considering that this may be Xia Bo's quirk, Nami didn't say much. Then hurry up. Xia Bo washed his hands first, then took out the pirate flag and inserted it, placing his hand on the treasure chest with a devout expression on his face. Ding, platinum treasure chest detected, do you want to open it? Open. Ability category. Armed color dominance, advanced and top. Level, fantasy. Superman series. Temperature fruit, fusible object / inedible, treasure category. Animal series, dog fruit, earth dog form, edible, equivalent to 80 million belly. Yeah, haha, the domineering color is a dream, but the armed color is a necessity. In the new world, if you don't master advanced armed colors, you feel embarrassed to say you are a master. His only domineering talent is armed color domineering. As a beginner, he has awakened with his physique and has reached the limit of his training to this day. Xia Bo could feel that as his physique strengthened, the total amount of domineering energy contained in his body continued to increase. However, without guidance from renowned teachers and corresponding skills, he could only harden and not entangle. It's very funny. However, Xia Bo is not in a hurry. Whether it's self-understanding or opening a treasure chest, as long as he breaks through to the intermediate level and eats the advanced weapon color, he won't take off directly. There is also the Superman series temperature fruit, which is the upper fruit of the hot fruit. It can not only heat up but also cool down, and most importantly, it can fuse objects. Integrating the temperature fruit into the chopping moon is equivalent to adding 2 additional attribute attacks, with the addition of the words, ice and fire, after the swordsman. Ice and fire swordsman, just thinking about it is amazing. Thinking of being able to immediately attach advanced armed colors and domineering aura, when attacking, the ice and fire can freely switch, and the corners of the mouth will rise uncontrollably, eventually reaching an astonishing arc. Xia Bo, don't laugh anymore, your saliva is about to flow out. Not angry, the old lady's mouth is not a big problem. Xia Bo put all the domineering temperature fruits, as well as 80 million belly, into the system space, leaving only the demon fruit in the form of a dog, and threw in a silver treasure map worth 10 million belly. Nami, come on, I feel like we definitely need to ship this time. You can open the treasure chest. I'm here, I've washed my hands more than 10 times, and this time I'm definitely going to produce a large order. Nami rubbed her red hands and knelt devoutly on the ground, her eyes wide open, pushing her hands upwards with force. Come on, let the light of the treasure shine in my mother's eyes. Dang 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 dang, Nami personally voiced, laughing brilliantly, then stiffening and then becoming autistic. No, no. She plunged into the platinum box and searched left and right, ignoring the demon fruit. There's no way, the child has limited knowledge and doesn't even know the devil fruit. Treasure, my treasure, god damn it, who took my mother's treasure first? Xia Bo remained silent, his gaze switching back and forth between the form of the earth dog and Nami. This ignorant appearance matched well with the earth dog. Do you want to? Chapter 10 Nami. Am I the legendary pirate? You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the cave, Nami's voice is full of ups and downs, from excitement to disappointment and sadness, switching up and down in 180 different tones, truly making the listener shed tears and the listener feel sad. Until being pulled back to reality by the incessant clicking of the shutter. Bastard, what are you shooting at this time? The treasure is gone. Bastard ace, it must be that bastard ace. My mother's treasure must have been taken by that bastard ace. Absolutely, I will never let you go. Ace. Ace, who was lying on the deck, suddenly sneezed a few times. He rubbed his nose and smiled. Luffy, you still have 2 years left before you set sail. I must tell you about Xia Bo then. It's really fun. Nami, what are you talking about? Isn't the treasure here? Xia Bo picked up the gray apple-shaped devil fruit and said excitedly, You've made a fortune, Nami. This is the most precious treasure of the sea. Devil fruit, the cheapest one costs 100 million belly. 1 billion bailey. Nami's eyes showed a clear and foolish expression. That's right, this is the lowest. I heard that the surgical fruit offered by the world government is as high as 5 billion belly. Maybe this one of us is the surgical fruit, that's 5 billion. Nanny. Nanny. Nami snatched the devil's fruit from Xia Bo's hands with an extremely incredible perspective. Where is there still half decadence, eyes full of excitement? Yuan, 5 billion baileys, you said it's worth 5 billion baileys. Really, really. Xia Bo was afraid that Nami would directly kill him, so he coughed lightly and said, Anyway, it's worth at least 100 million bailey. As for how much it really is, it depends on luck. 5 billion baileys, 5 billion baileys. Nami was excitedly spinning around, ignoring all other chaotic speeches. It truly deserves to be the treasure of the legendary pirate Kenya, who buried the devil's fruit worth 5 billion bellies. This time he has made a fortune. Take a look at this gorgeous box, thank you very much. Xia Bo watched her go crazy quietly. Starting from the golden treasure chest, treasure classes would give a 20% health guarantee for the treasure map. The platinum treasure map is worth 500 million yuan, and the demon fruit in the form of a dog is only 100 million yuan on the market, which is exactly right. That is to say, the platinum treasure box is guaranteed to have one animal-type demon fruit. If this were to be paired with Kaido, who likes animal-type demon fruits, it wouldn't be possible. Kaido wouldn't spend 500 million bailey to buy animal-type demon fruits, no matter what. Nah, Captain Xia Bo. Nami jumped up and hooked his neck, panting softly, the devil's fruit is also a part of wealth, and I will keep it. Xia Bo's face remained as usual, and he was not picky. He had already taken 90% of it, so there was no reason why he didn't get a penny. Moreover, when he really needs money, he has many ways to make Nami obediently pay. Of course. Nami's pupils shrank as she turned 10. At the age of 10, Belle was killed by Ah Long in front of her due to 100,000 Bailey. Later, she joined Ah Long, the money-driven group of mermaids and pirates. Besides Noachi Gao and the village, what she values most is money, because with money, Noachi Gao and the village can be safe, and with money, they can end the rule of Ah Long. The values developed over the years cannot be changed overnight. But now there may be a demon fruit worth 5 billion Baileys in his hand, but Xia Bo cannot hesitate to let himself keep it. What kind of trust is this? Nami jumped off her body, picked up the devil fruit, and smiled. Oh, why don't you eat this devil fruit, Xia Bo? It can also enhance your strength. Xia Bo was startled and quickly shook his head. Are you joking? In the form of a local dog, even dogs don't eat. I want to eat you. My dream is to find all the treasures in the world. How can I have the weakness of not being able to swim? I won't eat. Are you really willing to let me eat, Captain Xia Bo? This is worth 5 billion Baileys. Nami opened her small mouth and made a biting gesture. Maybe. I remind you to take a look at the Devil's Illustrated book first, otherwise it's very likely to be like a war wolf. A dog actually ate a dog fruit and laughed to death. This statement has too much killing power. Nami not only has the image of herself becoming a canine in her mind, but also has the look of a war wolf. That you understand me very well. Not good, my brain is filled with dirt. Xia Bo, your performance is good. Nami grabbed the silver treasure map, dragging the devil fruit with her other hand, humming a tune, and strode out. Don't forget to bring the box, Captain. After leaving the cave, the war wolf was lying on the ground in a state of boredom, and Nami kicked the dog's head with a flying kick. This kick is a punishment for entering the mind without permission. Ahem, Wolf Warrior saw hidden colors again from a different angle, so it's up to everyone to decide whether it's punishment or reward. Rog Town. Tina sat in the chair that originally belonged to Smog, her fair and slender legs resting on the table, ignoring Smog's gloomy face and roaring fiercely at the phone worm. Tina has said many times that Nami is hiding her strength. Otherwise, how could the original wolf pirates agree to disband the pirates under such excessive conditions? Establish the Bomei pirates. What, you asked Tina where she got the news. Tina heard it firsthand from Hellfire. Wolf Warrior. Sharp, and also witnessed the pirate Nami riding on the head of the original wolf pirate captain. That's right, this pirate is very good at hiding and poses a great threat. What, how much reward is appropriate to offer? Don't ask Tina about this kind of matter. This is something that our department should consider. Tina can only say that this person is very dangerous. On the other hand, the Navy headquarters also began a meeting based on the intelligence provided by Tina. After careful consideration, they compared the bounty of Hellfire. Wolf Warrior and Warrior. Xia Bo, offering a reward of 30 million Bailey. Based on Nami's previous style of behavior, she was given the title of Little Thief Cat, and the photo shows Nami awkwardly greeting while sitting on the head of a war wolf. Faced with the Navy, he completely lacks respect and can be said to be extremely arrogant. At the end of the meeting, the small thief cat. Nami, with a bounty of 30 million Bailey, was freshly released and distributed to the world. News birds fly, 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 fly to the East China Sea Dragon Park. A. Long, who was lying on a beach chair with flip-flops, big shorts, and a beach shirt, was startled by the fresh newspaper and threw a gold coin to the newsbird. When the newsbird was satisfied and left, Long also opened the newspaper and casually flipped through it. In order to build the Aran Empire, he is hibernating in the East China Sea, and the East China Sea is not chaotic. His Aran has his say, just reading newspapers for leisure. After all, I spent money. 1 tone. 2 tones. 3 tones. 4 tones. Loss of voice. Nanny.